I have genuinely been enjoying podcasts as they're meant to be enjoyed lately.
Ah, the
Audio only.
audio experience.
Yep.
Ladies and
And
gentlemen, boys and girls, I don't know if we're live yet. We'll know in a hot second, but I've definitely
I
clicked the
heard
go.
the clang, and we're live.
Okay, that's terrifying, man. Welcome, Linux Weekly Daily, Wednesdays. Pre-chosen. We're still setting things up, making sure it's all pretty, spit-shining. Pedro has made it
Yeah.
back, survived another week.
Britannia is, they're trying. They're trying to put me down, but I'm not staying down. I'm stubborn like that.
And it's definitely, it's pretty, it's a cool place.
Yeah, it
Uh,
is. Except these past couple of days, stupid warm. Like, very, very hot. To the
well,
point where there'll be a strong breeze out there, and well, you don't really feel the wind on your face because it's at your skin temperature. That's how hot it is.
Hippie Jake has made it, but Brad did not agree. Well, this is a little known fact. In Britannia, if it gets above 31 degrees, the people melt.
No, it hasn't gotten above 30, but it's very, very damp the whole time. So it's hot.
How is everyone doing this fine afternoon and or evening, depending on... Because, this is a
Yes.
Linux Gamecast production. We are wholly against having any show host in the same time zones. It goes against our...
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you and Jordan are the only two. And MT, when MT is on, he's also on GMT -5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Outside of that, yeah, it's I'm GMT, still GMT because the UK is still GMT. Let's see.
What do you...
Matthew
You're
is
UTC plus one?
yeah, it's UTC +1 during daylight savings and UTC during the regular winter time, whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Back in my day, it was GMT.
Yeah, GMT.
That was the thing. Speaking of get off my lawn, did you see that? Well, you might not have saw it. Some damn kid, was like, this is what my buddy called a water cooling system. And a nice...
Oh, the $50 one, yeah.
Yeah, he went out, he went to the marine store, he got a magnetic inline pump, he got a heater core, and it's like, yes, that's called what we used to build them with, because the pre-made parts didn't exist, Brad.
Yep.
So that just brought back memories.
Yeah, no, I saw the that looked like a friend of mine I used to know that decided that he was going to build his own custom loop, and he had just a little tank off to the side. It used to be a fish tank, but then the fish died, and he just kept the tank around, and then he filled it up with water, and he was using that as like the reservoir.
The best one I ever made, to the chagrin of my flatmate at the time, was an evaporative waterfall cooler. Didn't use a
So you turned your room into a sauna?
No, not really. I mean, come on. This is, what, 17, 18 years ago. TDP wasn't anything, they were like 40 watts or whatever. And you always had the waterfall sound. And that worked really, really well. But you got to keep that clean.
It starts to stank after a little bit.
Hello, Jill.
Hey, Jill.
Our official Linux Gamecast corporate, what do you got, morale officer. As Jill has reiterated many times, the beatings shall continue until morale is improved.
I did see the pictures of the outdoors LGC watching party last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
It is summertime, so if there's ever a time to watch LGC outside, why would you do that to yourself? It is now.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess in like the afternoon or the evening, maybe.
The really, really late afternoon.
It's like the middle of the day. It's like, oh man, let's go tailgate and watch the sports ball game at noon. No. See how easy that was? Bye. Click.
Yeah, I don't care just how good the AC on your car is, or in your car is. I'm not having any of that. Just fucking hate newer Visual Studios. Only the new ones. I think I hated Visual Studio since the first time I fired it up in university.
Never used it.
I used it for the sake of trying it. Microsoft had a deal with the university, and basically every student would have, let's see, it was a free Windows 7 professional license, which is what I used. There's a bunch of software, including Visual Studio. Office Student, 2007.
Mm-hmm.
When 2007 came out, they offer that one as well. Yeah. And my dealings with Linux at the time were very limited. Let's see, that was back when Ubuntu was Debian Brown Edition.
Yeah, the purple brown.
Yeah. No. They only introduced purple around the 8s, 9s. That was version 5. That was just brown.
Oh no,
all brown all the time.
Never really messed with the Ubuntus until I was helping out at a local charity here that I'm on the board of directors of now. Sleep well knowing that. It was like when I first walked in, and that was the first time I'd really seen the Ubuntu. Why would you theme something like? I thought somebody had done it.
Yeah, on purpose.
Like, what's wrong? Is this person genuinely mental? And it's like, no, that's default. What? They, all right. Okay. All right. And it was just a thing that happened. True story. Boom. Let me see if I can...
Oh, yeah. Something else I've been looking at is like charities that I can help with. Usually something more technically minded. Something like that till the job shows up. That's something I can do to just at least pass the time, because being home without internet, only having 4G, which is what you're getting me through right now, Shetworld, it's just 4G in all its glory. Because internet in the UK sucks. It just sucks.
Really?
Yeah.
Pedro's just like, man, listen, my third world country was wired better than this island.
Yeah, it is. We're talking... Portugal has 200 megabits down, 20 up for less than 30 euros a month. That's pretty good. Like, fiber to the premises. It's not fiber to the cabinet and then VDSL. No, fiber to the premises for less than 30 a month. That's pretty good. That's really freaking good.
Yeah. Well, at least you don't get to rage knowing that there's fiber running across the poles in front of your community that's just not lit up.
And that's the thing. The real estate agent said, "Oh yeah, no, don't worry. There'll be fiber. There's a fiber cabinet. So push comes to shove, it'll be fiber to the cabinet, and then you'll get just a regular DSL to your place." It's like, okay, all right, I can deal with that. It's not ideal, but I can deal with that. Nope, there's no fiber here. In fact, there's no fiber in about 5 mile radius of this place. Unless you go across the river and into central Cambridge, there's no fiber here.
Norland, I don't know about splicing, but I have stuck the two pieces of fiber together with that stupid monkey machine. I've had to do that, but not as hard as one would think. Gigabit down, 50 up for 200.
Yeah.
The absolute best we can get here, we have business cable, which I just, if you listen to the Saturday show, I just got jacked on that price, son, because I had the introductory rate. So I it was like, oh man, I can't believe we're getting what we're getting for this price. Went to, yeah, that price seems about right for that business line. But the best I can get available here with business cable is 300, or it's like 250 or 300 down.
Yeah.
Which only comes with 1.5 megabytes up.
Look, broadband here sucks, but at least I get, according to their, they say it's up to 6 megabits up and up to 17 megabits down. And then they have the actual speeds that you can expect. I can expect 6 down and 3 up. So yeah, 3 over ADSL. And I'll only be paying, I think it's $18.99 a month.
Yep. Yeah, Chibs, you got to do that. Then you got another device, which is like portable. It's not really an electron microscope, but that's what I always called it. And you stick it in to make sure there's not like microscopic anything on it. People, if you're at a data center and you're one of those that go, and you wipe the fiber connect and you stick it back in, you're the problem. Those machines exist for a reason. You can carry them around, and then you put it in and splice, and it goes deet, 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 and pull it out, and you're like, hey, all right. And you bend it real hard and freak it up.
And you break it, and then it's busted.
28 down. We have, here at LGC Actual, we have 80 down and 7 up. So, but we're paying over $100 a month for it now. So, and they don't throw in any free TV with that. Dicks.
Oh no, I could get a TV for those $18.99. I'm just not going to plug it in.
It's. I'm just irritated. Give Charter. Give me some. I'm not going to watch it. I just want to know it's there for what I'm paying you guys now. In your face. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just sitting on capacity. That's the American way.
Oh no, the American way is lying to your face.
Well, here's the thing.
Like,
in competitive markets, Charter offers gigabit for $49 a month.
In the 2 places in America where there's actually competition.
I mean, I have 16 connected available channels on a DOCSIS 3. It's like, yeah, I think you could light that up a bit more. And they're like, yeah, but we don't have to. Where are you going to go with the power company?
Let's see here. I asked Martin because, Martin, he lives here, has been living here for many, many years. So, yeah, he probably knows his stuff when it comes to the interwebs. And he's like, yeah, try Zen. I had a really good experience with him. Maybe in your area they'll have good coverage as well. And I'm like, okay, let's try Zen. Yeah, I'd have to pay £180 just to have a phone line brought to the place, since they have their own backend, their own phone line to the place, and then I would have to wait another 10 business days just to see what was available. So that's £180 to see what I could get.
That's a dick move. That's why we got rid of our Uverse. That's why Mr. Red just like, yeah, we had a 1 terabyte. Initially, it was a 500 gig cap that they put on Uverse, and it's like, we can't live with that. I upload more than 500 gigs. And not really, but between download, streaming, and all that, yeah.
Yeah.
It was more like 800 and something. Now it's like 1 terabyte on Uverse, and I just told them to die in a fire, which is like, all right, whatever, we don't care. But that's a thing.
Let's see, they tried that in Portugal back in 2012, 2011, because, oh yeah, it's unlimited bandwidth. Okay, unlimited bandwidth, everyone's just downloading everything. Oh yeah, you get past 300 gigs and you're subject to the fair use limitations. They would throttle you down to like 1 or 2 megabits. It's like, oh yeah, no, you passed but you said it was unlimited. Oh, but we have that limit. Oh, you do now.
Yeah.
Turns out the EU didn't like that very much. Every single ISP that was caught doing that had to pay a very substantial fine. So that ended right then and there. Now, if they say it's unlimited, it's actually unlimited. And it got to the point where no, not unlimited plan for a home service anyway flies in Portugal anymore. You just, unless you're on satellite and you live far away from everything, everything is unlimited. Regular ADSL, the few companies that provide VDSL, yeah, everything is unlimited except mobile plans. That is something that they don't want to even consider offering unlimited plans to.
No, man.
Because everyone would just adhere to that right then and there.
It's expensive. You got to stitch the little tiny wings on all the packets so they could fly to the location. And
that's one of the things that right now I have the cheapest UK phone number I could get my hands on, the cheapest SIM with the cheapest plan. But after that one expires and I actually get a job and I can afford, I'm actually probably going to go for the unlimited mobile data package. That
you get the unlimited mobile data. What you do is you go to a shop and you buy one of the burner phones with the you know, for like what, 14 quid or whatever they are. You buy that, you take it home, you activate it, you go to Google Voice, you set up a Google Voice number with that, throw that fucking phone away, then you get a data only plan, and that's your new phone number.
Do they offer Google Voice here in the UK?
Should.
Because they don't in Portugal. It's just... All right.
I'm cheap, son.
No. I actually didn't know they offered that Google had that option here. That's something to consider. But yeah, I like that. The 3, admittedly, they're like, everyone says they're the best mobile carrier right now. So, yeah. I mean, unlimited mobile data, yeah, kind of tempting.
Let me go grab a drink, then we'll get this thing started.
Yes. They claim you'll be getting 4G LTE by 2019. Yeah. Well, at least I get 4G. It's just I had to pay £25 for 5 gigs of data because I didn't want like a 12-month contract. Because I'm poor right now. I can't really afford that. So yeah, one-time thing for like 90 days. I can use 5 gigs, £25. 60 gigabyte family plan with 2 teens. Oh yeah, no. You see, those 2 teens alone, they would probably burn through those 60 gigs on a regular 3G connection. They would burn through those 60 gigs in about 10 days. Not even that. So yeah, 60 gigs, not enough. I got 6 gigs on my Portuguese phone here. I got 6 gigs of data, but guess what? I've already burned through all of them. And I've been here for just under 2 weeks. So yeah. Yeah. This whole not having internet business in 2017. The UK has a lot of improving to do. 5 gigs for £25, not bad at all. Yeah, it is, Strider. Yeah, it is. That's horrible.
Oh. I put those hipster shoes that I bought on the Amazon in here to
Oh, I saw that picture. Yeah.
in here to air out, and holy fuck, man. Yeah, they smell as bad as the reviews say.
Even without any feet in them?
I don't even know what. Here for you people at home. I mean, they're nothing incredible, you know. I think it's whatever they put on the soles. That just like reeks.
Oh, there are some stinky glues. Yes.
I don't know, man.
But yeah, I saw you post that picture. Oh yeah, you got a free hipster kit with shoes.
Right? Seriously?
It was like, at first I saw the shoes and I'm like, yeah, those are pretty hipster shoes. Then I looked down at the recommended. Oh, right. I get it.
Right. I was like, listen, man, I just want a pair of wingtip type shoes that aren't boots, that I knew they were going to be wicked cheap because Amazon gave me a credit on that ball that vendor never gave me a warranty for.
Yeah.
And so I ended up paying £6 for them.
Yeah, okay.
It's not bad. I mean, I cashed in some Amazon reward points on my credit card thing, but no, yeah, I was like, am I a hipster or am I just old? It's like probably a little bit of both. All right, so
checking email and Drudge report 3 weeks.
What?
You're lucky if it lasts a week. Yeah.
I don't know. I go through about 3 gigs of mobile data a month, but it rolls over. That's what I pay for with my MiFi thing, and I have the Ting stuff, so and it never expires, so I have like 40 or 50 gigabytes.
Yeah. Well, I do get the 6 gigs on my Portuguese phone, but those don't roll over, and let's just say in less than 2 weeks, I managed to burn through the 5 point something I had left. So yeah.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. It was like that month I spent getting converted from AT&T when I had that cap. That they were just going to bend me over if I touched that cap. And getting the charter, I remember it was like just watching. Anytime I watched a YouTube video, I immediately paused it and put it in like 360p.
Oh, you were doing 360p. I've only ever even watched teeny tiny videos in 144 because I'm not going harder than that.
Well, it was very tricky because the Nexus 10 wants to play them at 144.
Yeah. It just tends to default. If you're on Android, it defaults to whatever your
I didn't mean to say,
is.
when I say 144, I mean 1444.
Yeah, 1440. Yeah, I got it. No, I watch at 144p. That's it's pretty bad. But hey, it's either that or I don't get to even listen to anything, so I would go insane. So no.
All right. You ready to do this?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to start it off a little bit different, and we're going to change it around in post. So don't worry. No one freak out except for me.
Pretty sure he's already in the process of doing that.
Yeah. Something's different. Something's changed. Do you know? Yeah, we did it. We love you, Mir. Don't worry. All right. Start. All right. And sorry, everyone, I didn't have enough time to plug the green screen in before the show, so the batteries ran out. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Let's see how bad we cock this up.
Bad.
Probably. All right. Damn it, I forgot I was going to start it. Okay. Take 2. This week, John O'Bacon wants to consolidate the Linux desktop.
B-Link launches an affordable x86 mini PC.
Lucasfilm open sources a tool used in The Force Awakens.
And cleaning your Linux box for fun and profit.
All right, let's go. There's the cut. And 3, 2... And welcome back to Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays, where we like to take that midweek break, sit back, relax, and just have a chat about some of the cool stuff that we found going on in Penguin Land. I'm Ben Stone, joined as always by this fine young man. His, where are you at, man? Like week 3 in Britannia?
It's not even week 2 yet. It's
week 2.
Week 1 and 5 days.
Have you had any spotted dick yet?
I have, actually. And I've had some fish and chips. Not a big fan of the fish. Right. Chips are all right.
Man, he has a very elaborate system for what type of fish he'll eat. We'll save that, but that'd have to be an entire show just for itself. What is going on, beautiful party people?
John O'Bacon did a bad this week.
He did?
Yeah. He did, because he actually put out a really nice post regarding an idea of consolidating the Linux desktop app deployment. That's getting one specific software center, boutique, whatever you want to call it, and making sure every single distro uses it. Mm-hmm. Similar to what you already have with Steam, for instance, because that is, Steam right now is the one bit of software that every single distro that wants to be relevant supports. Why? Because people like to play video games. Go figure. And Jono goes through it. He's not actually talking about games specifically. He's talking about just the desktop apps that you use, like browsers and everything else. You can find... he's trying to get everyone to package them and deliver them in a unified way. Mm-hmm. And he makes some recommendations, actually. If you go all the way down to the bottom of the article, a good start, he says, would be to use the GNOME software, which is a simple and powerful store for browsing and installing software, Flatpaks, yes, Flatpaks, and Wayland, modern display server. And okay, sure, GNOME software, I'm not really into the GNOME desktop environment itself, but GNOME software is actually a pretty good store, and Wayland... Okay, let's just go with Wayland as the future here, and at some point we will have to change. It's not really there yet, but we will have to. So those two make sense. Flatpaks, on the other hand...
I was kind of shocked. I mean, to quote the Bacon, he says, hey man... What I want to see is that the various distributions put at the core of their platform a central app repo that's based on Flatpak. Do that. I was like, oh, snap? Question mark. Kind of surprised to see that, but that's the right way to go about it. App images, Flatpaks, because he does talk about, he's like, let's leave behind the whole mirror thing and the Unity thing. I was like, we do kind of need to address that because that was part of the problem. Ubuntu was creating systems that only really worked with Ubuntu. Yes, I know it's open source and you can move it somewhere else, but no one ever did. So
no one wanted to.
I think that we're going to see that issue with Snap as well. So Flatpak app images, all right, I'm down with that. Unfortunately, this is in no way an original idea. This is just the updated version for 2017 of the thing that we've been talking about for over 2 decades. Because, I completely agree with the Bacon. But, the attempt at pulling something like this off has been going on, I know, at least since 1995 when I first was like, hey, this Linux thing, it's not Windows, I'm good with it. Let's go. So.
Yeah, and... Okay, this is going to be a unicorn. It's the unicorn of unification of Linux, or standardization, or whatever you want to call it, really. Because what Jono says, it's a pretty good start. Yeah, And I guess kudos to Jono because he managed to, even though he was tempting fate a little bit with suggesting flat packs instead of snaps, he managed to sidestep the whole desktop environment argument. Because that would have actually attracted a lot of attention to his post.
Yeah, it definitely would. But hey, man, I mean, I can appreciate somebody who speaks his mind and also speaks his truth. You know, I don't see, never saw Jodo as being terribly biased with anything, and I say, good on that. Mm-hmm. So, this was something earlier this week that was like really wicked interesting until later on the article got a strike line through it. Pedro.
Yep. Yes, it did. So you may have seen it when we did, which came from Lily Pudding. And it's a teeny tiny mini PC with 8 gigs of RAM, 64 gigabytes. Cute. Yeah, 64 gigabytes of eMMC storage and some Apollo Lake CPU and GPUs. Now, that's all very well and good. You're looking at it, yeah, it's another one of those teeny tiny things. It's basically a glorified Raspberry Pi and x86 with a case, but whatever, looks neat. And they were saying, oh, yeah, it's available from Amazon for $250. There is a model available from Amazon for $250, but the 8 gigabyte B-Link AP34, which was the slightly lower end version, is also going for as little as 167 at AliExpress. So everyone was like, okay, 167 bucks, that's right then and there with impulse buy.
Yep.
Yeah. But then they got a little strike through and they got a little update and says, looks like $217 might be a bit more realistic price at AliExpress. It's unclear whether the product description of the 167 model is accurate. So, yeah, something's going on with AliExpress prices there, which is unfortunate because, again, at 167, this turns any monitor you have lying around the house into a full-blown PC.
Well, I mean, a terribly slow PC. I mean, it's running a Celery in 3450 quad-core Apollo Lake, 4 gigajoules of RAM. Yeah, again, man, 167. I was like, you know, maybe not impulse buy, but you over a period of 2, possibly 3 days, you'd be able to talk yourself into buying one just because, you know.
It looks neat.
Yeah, 802.11 AC, Wi-Fi's, Bluetooth 4, gigabit Ethernet, 4K support, HDMI, 3 USB, 3 SD card reader, headphone jack. You could make a wickedly overpowered Plex box that does multiple things around your house, but for once, I actually have to agree with you, P-Baby. As soon as that price starts with the number 2, I'm like, peace, I'm out.
Yeah, it's like 210 for those specs. For what is, again, a glorified Raspberry Pi x86.
But hey, Pedro, it's fanless. Kind of like a Raspberry Pi that can do most of the same things. Yeah. Unfortunately, this looked like something really cool that we wanted to tell you about. But hey, maybe you still want to play with it. Let us know. Pick one up. That's AliExpress. So you think ordering from Fast Tech's an adventure? Have fun with that.
I mean, you'll probably get it 3 months from now.
BleachBit, a quick and best way, there's a lot of grammatical stuff that hurts my brain organ in this article, to clean up your Linux system. Best CC cleaner alternative. Okay, you know, I wanted to include this because not this particular, I haven't been using BleachBit. I've been using the Ubuntu cleaner that we talked about on the show a few months ago. On the Ubuntu's just to nope old kernels because you just fire it up as like die, and it works. I don't have to worry about it. Tell me what's wrong with that, man. This is not the tool I use. This is BleachBit, and apparently it has said disparaging words about your mother.
It didn't. Admittedly, it was my fault. But yes, I too used BleachBit back in the day because I was just getting into Linux. It's like, okay, so in Windows I had to do that thing where I had to keep CCleaner around all the time because, well, Windows had that nasty tendency of building up temporary files to its own detriment. So every now and again, I would just run CCleaner, get rid of them. Hey, look, all of a sudden I have 7 extra gigs of disk space. Neat. So I thought to myself, okay, maybe Linux needs something like this. I didn't know any better. I'm sorry, I didn't. But I fired up BleachBit and I borked my system. Much like the Ubuntu cleaner tool that Ven uses, it has that very nasty side effect of probably in the wrong hands it will break your box. It's inevitable, and it's only something you should use if you really know what you're doing. Don't sell it like this article does, which is a C cleaner alternative. That's wrong. That's how you get people to break their box.
I think if you learn a little bit, because we all like to say, Linux doesn't suffer from problem X, Y, or Z. All right, here's the reality of it, Brad. Is just the day before yesterday, I ran the Ubuntu cleaner thing.
Mm-hmm.
Through Foxfire, Chrome, Chromium, Chrome Beta, app cache, configs, it cleaned up about 1.8 gigajoules. Which, all right, but then again, I mean, yes, me and yours, like, okay, we're talking on our SSDs and all that fun stuff. Because we live in this freakish world where we use SSDs to communicate somehow. Don't ask, it's nasty business. But to some people, man, that's a lot of space. So,
yeah.
You know,
especially if you have a really teeny tiny SSD.
That's what I'm saying, man. So that could be a valuable thing. Yes, I do agree with you that don't go crazy with it. But these things shouldn't bork your system. It's bad software if it's even remotely capable of destroying your system.
I honestly haven't used anything this sort lately, but I remember back in the day, if you were not careful, and it basically gave you control over a lot of parts that a Linux noob should not have control over. And yeah, no, I borked my own box. But again, that was my fault. It's not the fault of the software. The software is just a tool. Blame the tool using the tool. Okay?
That's true. So, Pedro, did you ever have like a roommate at any point in your life that you didn't like? Get on your nerves?
Yeah.
You know, don't you wish that you had a handy guide back then to encrypt his hard drives?
He was using Windows Vista because he thought it was the best thing ever. So I just let him sit.
Well, this is encrypting drives with Lux.
Lux,
Tell me about it.
The Linux Unified Key System, which, well, if you don't know what Lux is...
I just want to say this right off. Yes, this is disk encryption, but you know the guy gets it right here from the start with XKCD, you know, the crypto nerd's imagination. Oh, no, 4096 RSA, you can't. It's like, what would actually happen? Uses $5 wrench until he tells us his password. Got it. Right.
Yep. No, that is a very appropriate XKCD. And the article actually does a good enough system of explaining the basics of Lux and how you can set encryption along with it. Now, you have to be careful, and the article, again, is very explicit in that. Be very careful when copying the commands from the article to your terminal. First of all, rule of thumb, never copy commands from the internet to your terminal. That's just good rule of thumb to keep, you know? After that, let's say you're an idiot. You didn't pay attention. You just started copying commands. Well, chances are your drive names won't line up with the with what the article suggests. And the very first command in the article is a wipefs.
Mm-hmm.
wipefs-a /dev/sdb. At least it's not SDA. That would have been destructive. But yeah, no, that's how you get people to bork their box when they're not paying attention. But it is a good article. If you,
that's what I thought, man. It's laid back. I mean, if you're looking to do something like this, here's the thing, man. You know, it also shows us, okay, maybe you want to encrypt your USB drive, your thumb drive, whatever you want to call it. Kind of, I can feel that. I can feel the understanding behind that. But personally, you know, send me all the hate you want. You know, I don't encrypt anything that doesn't leave my house because wrench. You know, if you're already here, you might have a wrench with you. And you know what? I'm old man Vin, so I'm probably just going to give you the password and we're going to call it a day. Just got to save myself some time.
I mean, for me, this one right here usually goes with me wherever I go. is encrypted.
Nope. I spent a decade flying around North America having to carry laptops when they
you
weighed.
had to deal with the TSA. I get you.
Well, on top of that, they also weighed like 9 to 11 freedom units. So, no, not something that's gone horribly wrong in my life if I have to carry a laptop around me again. What I do carry around, and I do keep encrypted, is my Nexus 10. I do encrypt the file system on that because that is, I take that, and I don't carry around them. That's my mobile device.
Yeah.
So
I carry around that laptop. The tablet usually just stays home.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm one of those idiots.
Well, maybe it's a fun adventure if somebody wants to go on that. I know I'm kind of in the minority because it's like encrypt all the things, security, It's like, man, your ISP's already got it, son.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But then again, I'm all for people doing it. And I understand why you want to do it. It's just, I don't like security theater. Speaking of the TSA, the TSA misses like 90% of the stuff when they test themselves. So, I mean,
as someone who flew recently with several items I should not have, including 2 sets of pliers, 2 very, very big screwdrivers. Let's see, this laptop, the netbook, everything else, it's all encrypted. It's all...
Well, okay.
I'm here. Everything's here.
Show title, Encrypted Pliers. Pedro, you put this in here, and
yes, I did.
It's NutRunner. It kind of rings a bell. I don't know. Why are we talking about it?
It is a distro, a KDE-based distro. It's one of when Suzy decided to, we're going to drop KDE. We're going to start focusing on GNOME as the default. NutRunner went, okay, we'll do the KDE thing. We'll keep it up. And they are very much a rolling release.
Oh, man. They got a little copy of XMMS open right there. Oh, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, and they also have they have a couple of screenshots that let you see what to expect from the default desktop. And if you are, let's say, last time you installed NutRunner was with their last version was actually 2016.
What I want to ask you is, what is NutRunner? Why is it better? Why? Because listen, man, I'm diehard in the Woolhannah, Montana Linux. Why should I switch to NutRunner? What's the advantage?
You shouldn't, especially if you don't like KDE. Their big selling point is KDE. Their KDE integration. They make KDE top, front and center, whatever you want to call it. It's their focus. They want to integrate it as well as they can with every other app that they offer. And I mean, for
come on, Pedro. If I wanted KDE level integration, I'd just buy a Mac.
Touche. Or you could get one of those Neon Slim books. I think they still make those. I think.
Well,
but yeah, it's the new version. It's the new ISO roll-up. It's available if you want to download it. It comes with Plasma 5.10, Frameworks 535, and the 411 kernel. So, yeah, it's an up-to-date distro, basically.
Up-to-date distro. This will be in the show notes along with everything. You can go check it out at linuxthemecast.com. The one thing that I was reading through, and to quote, while it would be possible to simply update a previously installed system due to its continuously rolling nature, we recommend a fresh install. Hashtag what? Listen, I'm no expert. Been using Linux a long time. I don't claim to be an expert. But riddle me this, P-baby. Rolling release. I don't think that's how they're supposed to work.
Yeah, no, if you install a rolling release and you keep it relatively up to date, even if you, let's say, miss a couple of months of updates, just update again and look, you're caught up. It's fine. Why did I actually missed that bit when I first put it in the show notes? It wasn't until you pointed it out that I realized it's like, why?
Listen, man, I didn't catch it. My brain did. My brain went, whoa, back up there, Brad. And I was like, what? And he was like, no, just scroll back up. And I was like, okay, what? All right. Hey, man, let's talk about 2 little companies that you might be able to put your rolling release on, starting with Station X.
Station X, yes.
Hi, Budget Brian Lunduke. How are you? No, man. We saw these pop up. Gorgeous Linux laptops and desktops. These guys are throwing it down in the, let's see, they're a UK company, but they also ship to Austria, Belgium, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, and the Netherlands. But the reason I threw this in here is what you're seeing on the screen for the audio listeners. You can pick through like 20 different distributions, including 7 different versions of Arch, which I would never want to be responsible for supporting Arch. So they have the laptops, the kick-ass laptops, and insane Linux-powered desktops. So I priced one out, one that we might want to use. They all have plain names. This is the B29 Superfortress. Would have went with Stratofortress on that one, but for an i7 quad-core, let's see, 7700, 16 gigajoules RAM, 1070, didn't go for the 1080, like I said, trying to be reasonable here, and one M.2 SSD 250, preloaded with OB Revenge, which is, of course, Arch Linux. You end up with £2,727, and I don't know if that includes VAT.
That's a bit pricey.
But it does come with a like 37-inch ultra widescreen monitor too.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, if it includes the monitor,
maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's within what you'd expect for a boutique builder. And the one thing that caught my eye was in their website. I mean, outside of the URL, which is stationx.rocks. Nice try.
Do you want to make sure no one finds your web zone? That's how you make sure no one finds your web zone, including Google. Just pro tip.
Yep. And they also have a little bit introducing the all-new Spitfire. Our new all-aluminum, all-beautiful MacBook Pro killer. Really? Really? That's what you're going with? Really?
It's a thing, man. Maybe people want to check them out. And just like a real quick mention, because we've ran into 2 of these this week. Yes. StarLab Systems. Somebody get a hold of Barry Allen. This just starts out with the instructions said, install Windows XP or better. So I installed Linux. So edgy.
So 2006? 7?
I don't know, possibly. But no, they have Lite, Laptop Pro X. This looks like a really bad render. Maybe it's not.
Well, the one that they show is actually, if I'm not mistaken, the laptop, the regular one. It's basically an ultrabook form factor style of Linux powered laptop. Admittedly, I like just staring at cheapo laptops.
Okay, hang on. Is this a troll website? Because this is another bad shoot. But it also has Windows on it. It has Windows 8 or Windows 10.
I wouldn't be surprised if they just used the default promotional images for whatever brand they are rebranding those laptops from.
Oof.
But yeah, the light one actually doesn't look too bad. For the £300, you get a 15-inch teeny tiny, teeny tiny. It's the regular size.
Thunderbolt Type C. I mean,
yeah, it's you get full HD, 15-inch, and the rest of the specs seem to be a bit spotty, but that's pretty good for £300. But again, I don't know. Both this website and StationX, they kind of showed up this week, so might want to take a step back, let the community see what's what.
Pedro's politely saying, let somebody else send their canaries down the coal mine, and we'll see if they come back breathing before you do that. But we did find them, and they were interesting. It's like the more the merrier, man, is the kind of the way I look at it. Because we have System 76, then we have, I'm going to get some hate mail. Intraware. Then we have the Tux Computing, the German company. Tuxedo. And we could use some more competition. and we give you a pro tip: if you're starting a Linux, don't say we custom handcraft. It's like, listen, everyone knows these are like the equivalent of white boxes, right? that are rebadged and rebranded for that. But before we get out of here, check this business out, man. ILM has announced open source release of Material X library. And Material X, man, no, it's not a new Marvel franchise. Nay, what it does is it allows the exchanging of rich material content between different software packages. I think like rendering systems is really what you're looking at. You know, it'll keep the model the same, you know, just the complete look of the model from one application renderer to another. And that's what this does. And they're like, hey, man, the guys and gals at ILM, this thing didn't exist. They needed it to exist, so they made it, and it's up on GitHub. Yeah. Download the latest version of CMake build system, or if you hate yourself, you can also use Visual Studio 2015 or newer. Not much to it. This is way above my pay grade or anything that I've ever touched. But anytime I see something, it's like, this is good.
Yeah.
I'm sure
it's
somebody...
more stuff getting open source. This is always good. And they say that Autodesk and Foundry have voiced support for Material X, so I'm guessing not a whole lot of people were using Material X before they open sourced it. Mm-hmm. So maybe this is a good thing. And hey, they managed to push out a couple of movies using this technology, so...
Right. And, yeah, this was used in The Force Awakens, so...
Yeah.
Say what you will about the film. Yeah, it's just good to see companies actually just not saying, hey, guys, we're totally going to open source our video editor and never doing it. #lightfucks. Yeah, this is just ILM coming out of nowhere, like, poof, just all over your face, chest, and neck, man. Like, have some of this. Figure it out. I was like, I don't know what it does. They're like, nod your head and smile. Yes, ILM, I will do that. That's kind of
Narlin in chat realm was asking what the license was. It's Apache.
Apache.
It's not ideal, but it's...
Apache is like Apache.
Apache, yes.
Yeah, it's no... How did you cock up Nginx again?
Nginx?
Nginx, yes. All right. It's brilliant. You know who else is brilliant, Pedro?
I'm going to hazard a guess it's not me.
It's everyone supporting this. Helping us do this show every Wednesday. And all the extra live streams. We just want to thank them. And, hey, man, if you want to come check this business out, he's like, hey, these yahoos are kind of entertaining. Kind of, like, in a small way, in a moderate way. But first of all, thanks to all of our beautiful party patrons who are making, because this show is a patron goal.
110 of them?
Yeah. Every single one of them, particularly lovely. I almost know all their names by heart. There's like 3 of you I'm missing, but I work on it every other Wednesday. It's kind of brilliant. A couple of new patrons. Do you want to butcher that first one?
Stein Erik Vanheim?
Stein Erik Svendheim. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
He's
I missed
awesome,
an S there.
I know 2 facts about him, and one of them, he can vibrate through walls. It's kind of frightening. And also, Mr. James Kane. Give these lovely people a hand. And don't forget, we have a couple things over at linuxgamecast.com. Hit that support button like one Mr. Carlos Sanchez did. Because he's like, hey, man, maybe the Patreon thing's not really great. I don't want the reward system and all that. He's like, I just want to give you cash on the barrel. He hit our PayPal button. Sent in a donation. I want to thank him for that. We do have a thing with the Bitcoins. We can make use of Bitcoins if you got that. Amazon affiliate links.
And
thank you,
now, right?
Everyone who is shopping through our Amazon affiliate links, because that adds up. It really genuinely helps. And last but not least, I want to show off our Patreon page right quick because it's so cool. 192 wet stinky cashes. We're coming up on that $200 goal. This is why we like Patreon, because you get access to our pre-super shows, and it's a straight up behind the scenes look at Linux Gamecast. It's the closest thing we have to a production meeting every week. You get access to this lovely Discord channel. That's where everyone hangs out the other 6 days of the week. And you get our live VODs like a few hours after they go. You don't have to wait 3 days. Then, hey, man, that's cool. Thanks, everyone, for doing that. I guess last but not least, we do have our Amazon wish list. which is we're trying to build the Studio Business Mark II, man. We're trying to make a better show for you. We're trying to do more shows, new cool stuff, and that stuff we're planning on buying. If you want to beat us to it, that would be really cool if you want to do the Game Genie thing.
I just noticed this. Ven, why did you add a 2560 by 1080 ultra-wide FreeSync monitor to it?
Well, if you read the quote, you'll see.
I hate stupid monkey ultra-wide monitors, but we're going to need one for the OBS setup. Okay, fair enough.
See, I knew Pedro would spot that. He was like, wait a minute. Vin doesn't do anything but rail against ultra-wide monitors, which is true. Absolutely true. Like I said, nothing on that list is like, oh, cool toys for us to play with. It was like, oh, Jesus, we're going to need one of these. It's a true story.
I didn't want one of those, but it's the big ones.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, and you also end up on the fine, upstanding Cannibals wall that Frank holds on Saturdays. He's out on Wednesdays. He's got choir practice. Sorry about that. He can't hold the sign. It's a dang shame. Voice. But you'll be permanently listed in all versions and incarnations of the studio, up to and including when we build that log cabin in Kansas and probably end up killing ourselves within the first month. So, all that shilling has made me a little hungry. How about we dive into a slice of pie?
A proper slice of pie. So, we already covered this, or something sort of like this, which is to bring Alexa functionality onto your Raspberry Pi. Mm-hmm. But this is dedicated hardware to help you do it. It's not just software. You actually get a teeny tiny light matrix with a built-in speaker and microphone that you can plug in to your Raspberry Pi. Or you'll probably have to do some futzing around with the GPIO pins. But you can do it. And I've actually seen this used. I'd seen like these light matrices used in several other projects, but I never really thought to question what they were. Now I know. It's the Pietop Pulse.
Mm. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, we've definitely covered the hard mode version of like making the always on Alexa spy version thing, but it's kind of cool, man. I mean, you can definitely do some STEAM stuff, the science, technology, engineering, arts, and maths. Projects, especially with the blinky lights and all that fun stuff. It probably has more educational uses than anything else. And like Pedro said, yeah, the GPIO opens is like click, you're done. So, okay, just make sure you put the round peg in the round hole, and you can probably assemble one of these. The full Alexa integration, cloud-based stuff is just like boom, you get that up and running. Again, simple to stick together kit stuff, and we love doing a little thing like this. Just if you do a makerspace or anything like that, or if you're a teacher,
or if you're a teacher and you're trying to get people, even if it's just kids or older people, with get them interested in technology and have something that gives immediate visual feedback. That's what the Raspberry Pi is really good for, because look, it's a teeny tiny computer. You could just use it the way it is, or you could do insane stuff. And the guys at Pietop, they just keep on adding more and more stuff to make the Raspberry Pi really interesting. So good on them.
That's pretty cool. I mean, you have some nice, responsible projects like this. Then you have people who put it in top gear and slam the petrol and come up with an ultrasonic Pie piano with gesture controls. All I have to say this is goodbye sonic screwdriver, hello steampunk theremin.
It's I honestly don't know.
Hey man, it's using the HCSRO4 ultrasonic sensors as inputs. It's doing the MIDI notes and tie that in. They suggest like at least a Pi 2, but they really want you to use a Pi 3 so you don't have so much latency. Yeah, you have a budget theremin. This thing will pick up, make all types of racket, and terrify any animal that you have living in your house.
Yeah, that's really the only use case I can see for that. Outside of the neat factor. But then again, most of the stories we cover here in the Slice of Pie are just neat factor. That's all that you have.
I don't know. I'm just going to order the Oscillotonic board because I want something in my house that's called an Oscillotonic board. And
fair enough.
I own things that I have no use for that exact same reason. Logic level converter Oscillotonic board. This is cool. All right.
Yeah, it is cool. No one's questioning that. It's just I'm trying to think of a use case.
Pedro, you don't build stuff like this with a use case in mind. You build stuff like this out of pure, unadulterated boredom and spare parts.
But at some point, someone always finds a use case for most of everything that gets built.
Well, Linux Nero and Chat Realm right now, I know because he was using the sonar thingies to try to build this autonomous RC driving car.
Yeah. Which the latency was killing it.
Should have used Pi 3. That's probably definitely a thing. So, last little bit of Pi news is, furiously scroll back up, Eyes in the Sky with your Raspberry Pi. Oh my. Did you know that you can use your Raspberry Pi to get eyes in the... Well, actually, I never thought about doing it with a Pi because I know you can buy the pre-made units. Yeah, check it out, man. You can set up a Pi to pick up the signals for yourself, or you can contribute. This is going to tell you, this is telemetry of where the airplanes are flying over your head organs. And real-time tracking. And you can send the data, keep it for yourself, or you can send this data like FlightAware, Flight Radar 24, Plane Finder. In return, you get detailed metrics, radar readouts, and other stuff. Some people are into this. Look, they're flying over your island. I remember that place.
Well, there doesn't seem to be a plane on the little picture that he shows there going over where I am, so I'm good.
It's pretty cool, man. You don't need much. USB TV tuner, Raspberry, and a little bit of time for this. But, you will get such amazing rewards, such as, like, being on the NSA watch list, free membership to that. And that's definitely a thing.
You will get lifetime backups of your hard drive made by the FBI.
It's kind of brilliant. I think this project also comes with mandatory enhanced screenings from the TSA. That's another benefit of setting this up. And last but not least, you might notice after you've set one of these up, checking your available networks, and that new spot out there called FBI Surveillance, man, 37. You're like, oh, right.
Yeah, they kind of need to change those SSIDs, just saying.
No, I'm just kind of joking. It's a cool project. I don't know if a plane's going to come note me. I don't want forewarning.
Yeah, you just kind of want to be there. It's like, oh, look, there's a plane in my living room.
Right.
Neat.
And that's it. But you can pick this up to like 200 and something Freedom units away. So it's a cool project. I don't know, man.
If
here we go. If you're trying to keep track of chemtrails.
Yes.
Marketing spin. See, I just sold a conspiracy. I just sold out all the inventory. We're done. See.
And maybe, just maybe, if this was around, that Malaysian Air Flight's plane wouldn't have disappeared.
Yeah, it would have went. Oh, where'd that dot go? I don't know. Maybe it got thirsty. Don't make that joke.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, considering where it was, probably did, yeah.
That's pretty cool, man. So before we get out of here, and you can definitely write us back, easy way to, like, Fred, chemtrails are real, and you need to hey, man, send that back to us. How do they do it?
Yeah, you can do that easily. We'll be more than happy to enable you in your delusions by going to linuxgamecast.com. You hit the contact button, fill out the form. It's pretty easy. If you want to shout at us, if you want to correct us on something we said, if you want to say that we're awesome, please don't do that. It hurts inside. Don't do that. But you can do that too if you must. Just fill out the form, send us your message, do the little captcha thing. It's easy enough. And we'll be happy to feature your message. So, Rudy, apparently he's been out of the loop. Did Frenchie get kicked off the show? Sorry if it's been answered before. I've been out of the loop for a while.
Yep, straight to the curb. We set him on fire on the way out. It was hilarious.
I did suggest we cover him in tar first, but apparently that's a bit trite nowadays.
Yeah, we just wrapped him in crepes.
Yeah.
But he seemed to like it. That's why we set him on fire, because he was enjoying the crepe wrapping too much. No, man, even worse. He got a job.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He was just like, peace out. No, it wasn't really. He has to get on.
I got a job. Peace.
Not today. Expletive deleted. Rick and Morty, you know the scene I'm talking about. He's got to ride a train to work, but he seems to be enjoying his job. And, Strider's a Python developer, and much like Python itself, Frenchie's single-threaded. He's not good at the multitasking, so...
He tries.
Yeah,
he tries. Admittedly, he tries. And we appreciate it.
Between work and maybe, pulling up another instance of Python for the Lutris project, lutris.net. Mm-hmm. Go check it out, patreon.com/Lutris. It's great if you want to unify all your used old games and stuff. Good project. No, but he'll be popping back in when he can. And I think this is a good time to bring up, if you read the initial description of this show, it's a rotating cast of idiots is
yep.
what it says. And we would like to bring in more people. So if you've been sitting back, relaxing, thinking, hey, man, I have an hour block of time on Wednesday. I like Linux, and I kind of know what I'm talking about. I got some bandwidth. I got a decent microphone. You don't have to have all this business up in your face junk. But, a good headset, kind of like Pedro has.
Well, the microphone on this one's kind of bad. But the most important one, I guess, would be just that the audio quality is crisp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just don't give me a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
Send us a note through feedback, man. I was like, hey, man, I'd be kind of interested. Maybe we'll spool you in, because we like to rotate some people through, because when we're down to 2, we're not Raptor bus proof, because no one wants to sit through 30 minutes, just me. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's horrifying. So, last but not least, Josh writes back about the Netflix DRM from last week. He says, I'm a little confused regarding Netflix DRM. Netflix rents access to its online-only service, so why does it matter that they employ DRM? How does it affect the end user? Also, System 76 started designing their own hardware a little while ago, which we covered on the show. Started.
Yes.
They're not delivering. Started.
And about the Netflix thing, have you ever tried to download a Netflix movie, TV show, whatever, so you can watch while you're not online?
Yeah, you hit the download button and it downloads.
Yeah. And then you go to try and watch it. At least Canadian Netflix did this to me every single time. Whenever you go to try and watch it, it's like, oh, you need to connect because some reason. No, I don't. I downloaded everything. I want to watch it. Oh, you can't. You need to log in first. F you, Netflix. F you.
I don't know. Listen, most of the stuff now, with the Netflix originals, you don't have that problem. You won't. You run into that and other stuff that you can download that Netflix doesn't own due to licensing.
That could have been the case, yes.
Nightmare fuel that they have to deal with. And there's a certain amount of times you can download something too. If you download something 3 or 4 times, it's like, oh, you're out of downloads. It doesn't tell you that, which that could be. I don't really download the Netflix at all. I'm just like, oh, that's a new button. Poke. Oh, it did that.
Every now and again, if you know you're going to be without a reliable internet connection for a few days, yeah, you kind of want to download just to burn the time. Yeah, so every single time I tried the download thing with Netflix, no, it told me I had to log in because I can't even remember why. But yeah, if it was DRM free and they allowed you to download, okay, there's the AVI, MP4, MKV, whatever, of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You have it. You can watch it. It's yours. Cool. And then when you're done watching it, you do what most reasonable people do. You sack it, and you don't go to the local video store and make it available for rent.
Well, I don't think anybody's really going through that loophole. It's too many jumps. To get back to the question, why, they could have DRM-free versions of just their local stuff that they have, and DRM everything else. I think it's just a matter of, listen, it's just easier if we just have one system.
Everything is under DRM. Yeah,
right.
Makes sense.
Not that I agree with it, but...
me neither, but it makes sense.
You're talking to somebody who just added HBO because Game of Thrones is on.
Yeah.
Which is great because...
that's one thing I forgot to download, go to the local video store for.
Yeah, well, I got HBO, which also means that I can watch Westworld because...
You haven't watched that yet. Right?
I haven't watched that yet. I practice what I preach, man. I say if it's available for me to buy or rent, I will get it. And I'm doing a twofer. I got a month of the HBO added to my Amazon Prime, so now I have access for all the Game of Thrones, and I can also watch the Westworld. Hey, it's been brilliant hanging out with you. We hope you've enjoyed this. Maybe you'll consider throwing some change our way. Maybe a little hope. Who knows? I don't know. I'd probably piss somebody off because they thought it was a political reference. It wasn't. It just went through my brain. It's like, wait a minute. Maybe it could be. And thanks, everybody who
We're not going down
currently
that road.
supports this. Come check us out Saturday if you want to see the unhinged version, which might have caused some of you to spill your popcorn going, what? And I was like, oh, no, this is the tame PG. This is like the G-rated. This is not even PG. This is G-rated compared to the nightmare that will come out of the station Saturday. With the Patreons, we're able to do 2 more streams each week. So we do a stream. I did a stream of Jotun playing around. I used it as an excuse to play around with the green screen. World's cheapest green screen, ladies and gentlemen. 13 quid. And Thursday, tomorrow, J-Baby and the Sandman will probably return with more Crimson Court, Darkest Dungeons. Even if you're not into that, it's kind of fun listening to those two. I've been watching it. I've learned how to play the game by watching them. So that's definitely a thing. We got our Twitter things down there if you want to follow me, at Vinstone.
I am unaccounted for on Twitter. It's been a while since I've been on Twitter.
And, hey, we'll see you next week. Time for some credits.
Indeed. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you all. Thank you.
Oh, I've paid my dues. Time after time. Use Eagle. It's got a bigger screen. What? Microtron. What are you guys on about?
I have no idea.
It is always fun to say, yeah, we've given it. Oh, yeah, the show's on. It's background noise.
Yep.
Well, we have IRC
look, everyone's on IRC. We can talk to everyone now.
That's why you got to come hang out in the Discord channel.
That's something else I haven't fired up in a while.
I like that Strider went on his thing. He was like, Discord's dead. This is a ghost town of it. Strider uses Discord more than I do. And scene. Stop recording. Stop recording. This is a very conscious decision because that button should be nowhere near stop streaming. UI developers of OBS.
You can set keyboard shortcuts for that.
I can set keyboard shortcuts, but you know what? I am kind of maxed out. The keyboard shortcuts are doing some other stuff, man. They're busy. They got jobs.
Yeah, that's when you add all. That's why you have like 4 different modifier keys in your keyboard. You have Shift, Control.
That's why I have a
24
button, 3 per key programmable keypad that is like $70 on that wish list that I'm planning on getting. Not because I think I like really pressing buttons are going to be neat.
Although you do. You kind of do, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not $75 needed. That.
Yeah, those are some expensive buttons, to be fair.
If anyone knows like a cheaper control surface with at least, you know what? I don't even need them to be multi-programmable, but like 24 buttons. Or not. It can't be a number pad. Number pad's out because that is just too much of a nightmare. To it doesn't have enough buttons.
Yeah, you need to mess with X input at that point.
Yeah, I need something that device on the wish list shows up as a game controller. So I can just
HID game controller.
Map anything I want to it. Unfortunately, it's like a small shop that makes them. Jesus, all right. I'll get around to picking that. Oh, but yeah. Let's not export that to an MP3. That would defeat the purpose. 32-bit wave. Chug a chug, chug a chug, chug a chug, chug a chug. You can do it. Come on.
I think it was actually Linux Nuru that was winning on Discord. He was like the when you did Bang Rank, he was number 1.
I am only level 15.
I think I was level 9. Let me start it up right quick. All right, it's updating. Gonna be a while. There we go. Oh no, I have 2 notifications.
Here comes all the ranks. I see your mug made it.
Yeah, the mug made it. This one, admittedly, I brought it with me on the plane. It was in the backpack.
Was it full? Oh.
No. Well, it was full with bubble wrap. I jammed a bunch of bubble wrap in there and covered the bubble wrap around. Okay, you go in the backpack. You should survive. It did. And we had a couple other mugs. The Portal mug and Nori's Rurouni Kenshin Hitokiri Batosai Samurai X.
Listen, nerd, speak English.
Samurai X, yes, the anime. She has one of those mugs, and that one survived too. Yeah, I think most of everything survived. Although this PC has been running a bit hot. Well, hotter than usual. It used to cap out at around 58, 59.
I would totally... Well, did you took off the heatsink before you shipped it, right?
Yeah.
You put it back on?
Yeah.
Did you clean it?
Yeah. I used alcohol to clean it off when I took it off, and cleaned the top of the processor as well. I pondered whether or not to remove the processor from the socket, but considering it's teeny tiny thing, just cram the case full of newspaper. That's fine. It's not going anywhere. And it didn't. But yeah, it's running a bit warmer than it used to, because now under full load, instead of 58, 59, it's doing 65, 66. So that's something I will have to look at.
Thanks for the offer, Mir, but yeah, we're definitely looking for a control surface with... The big thing about this thing... I'm looking for something like this light. Where the hell's the damn thing at? There it is. Herp-de-derp. Because you see these keys?
Mm-hmm.
You can pop them off and put labels under them.
Yeah.
That's the big feature. I wish this thing was like $25 and I would have already bought it. I'm going to get to it, but my first priority, hopefully I didn't forget to, like, I crossed all my T's and dotted all my lowercase J's. Hopefully the IRS, because I think we've established that I did in fact overpay them.
Yeah.
So when I get my money back is...
Weren't you supposed to already have the money?
You missed the show. I forgot to sign it.
Ah.
I forgot, let me rephrase that. I forgot to sign it over the photocopied signing thing. Because photocopies of signatures don't count as real signatures because, I don't know. That's the thing I learned.
Okay.
I was feeling pretty dumb until Stephen from Door to Door Geek, he was like, yeah, I've done that before. And I was like, all right, I feel a little better.
All right. Okay, so let's see. Since I am going to be on the show this Saturday, no promises about next Saturday. We'll have to see how much data I have left.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this one I will be on, and I will be recording the gameplay. And I'm going to have to find a place that lets me upload it.
You don't have to record the gameplay. I already have an hour's worth.
Oh, okay, you're right. Right. Right, you did the stream. Yeah.
Hang on one second. I gotta cut a fucking fan on. Oh, hide your kids. Sorry.
Okay, yeah, she already did the stream. Yeah, that saves me a bit of a trip to probably the library. It's the place that has the best internet connection and quite possibly the best QoS setup. I'm pretty sure if I just went to the the restaurant bar pub thing up the street. And if I tried to upload something, everyone would just not be able to browse the internet. That keypad is as expensive as a full Cherry MX keyboard. Well, Cherry MX keyboards have gotten cheaper. I got this one with like store credit. The store I bought this box and the Steam box and everything else from. They gave me points every, I think it was 10 euros. Got me a point and just I traded. I can't remember. I was trying to think how many points I had to. It was basically all the points I had for this keyboard, but the price was 80 something euros if I had like paid money for it. So yeah, points are nice. Store credit's nice. Loyalty memberships, if it's a place you do a lot of shopping from, you might want to look into that.
What are we on about?
Strider was saying that control pad is as expensive as Cherry MX mechanical keyboards nowadays. And then I went off on a bit of a I don't even know what to call it about how I got this particular mechanical keyboard. Yeah. When will your internet get stable enough to guarantee Saturday appearances?
Never.
August 9th? Or 10th? I honestly can't remember. One of those 2 days. So yeah, it's just at the Saturday show. It's a lot longer.
There's a difference between like an hour, hour and a half versus 5 hours.
Yeah, and an hour and a half. Even using Skype video, which is what you're getting right now, it uses almost 400 megabytes for an hour. So, yeah. Considering, 25 pounds for 5 gigs, I would be even more broke, if that's even possible. Even sooner.
Even with a gimped up codec, I mean, because, we're not even getting 50K from you for video.
Yeah.
And that's video and audio.
Mm-hmm.
It's still able to pull off serviceable. I mean, it's not as bad as parallel port QuickCam VC days over dial-up with a CUC me, or as I always called it, ICUP. Which was definitely a thing. They had a nice CUC me client for Linux.
Artherin, how far would you go to make a game up and running?
Far would you go? Meter and a half.
Let's see. Today I had to walk about 2 miles to go to the job center here so I could get my national insurance number. And while I was there, I downloaded the game we're throwing chairs at. So I'm guessing 2 miles. Because even though it's like installed, it's like 4 gigs, but the download is 1 point something.
Intensity Pro, what does it do? I mean, I don't need one that does 4K. I need one that does 1080p 60. Yeah, if we're going to do a Patreon goal for Pedro's Internet, we need to do one for Ven's Internet because our business rate just ran out and it more than doubled.
Yeah. No, if the show must go on, I think, Ven's Internet's a bit more expensive.
Which sucks because if we lived anywhere near competition, I would have double the speed for like what I was paying for the introductory. Nope. Then you don't do 1080p 30. Yeah. We need one that does 60.
Again, Arthur, and especially old games like Loki old, I figured out how to get the native Linux version of Neverwinter Nights up and running on, modern-ish distros. It's you can find the how-to on linuxgamecast.com. It wasn't easy. I gave up 3 different times before I ever got it to work properly, but I got it to work eventually.
How much were you selling it for on Craigslist?
What?
Pay attention to Discord, son.
I wasn't.
It's 9:26. Are you telling me it's already that dark?
Yeah.
$50.
And it's the only reason you can still see my face is because, teeny tiny LED lamp.
Yeah, 50. Yeah, I don't know if I want to. I'm not trying to negotiate with you, man. I was kind of curious. If we need negotiations, we'll get the Uden. Kingpin? Man, I couldn't get Kingpin audio to work like when it was first out for Linux, like in 2001.
Yeah, Lockdown is just, he likes throwing things at people. By the way, thanks for the Steam controller, Lockdown. Still using it, still love it.
I appreciate it. Like, I'm trying to think of like a use case for it, though. Because I'd rather you get money for it.
Yeah.
What I'm doing right now is trying to justify giving you $50 for it. Is really what's going on. Because I don't want to take anything for anyone. Or even if we took it as but I can't think of anything for 1080p 30. Yeah. I just can't because we're eventually just going to be doing everything at 720p 60 anyway, but we need the ability to switch over from 720 to 1080 because we're downscaling. Can it do 720 at 60?
720 60, yeah.
If it can do 720 60. It's pretty much useless.
Pretty much. Eh?
Does it do a bad job at it?
For your use case, Lockdown, and it's useless, or what do you mean?
Right. And if I was trying to get Kingpin to work in 2017, I would just put like Red Hat 6 in a VM.
Yeah. Yeah, if you use VMware, you get the proper 2D and 3D acceleration, so you could probably do it.
Well, if we can do...
Oh, I guess he means it's useless because 1080-60 is a standard. Okay.
See if you can sell it, man. I'd rather you try to get some money for it. If you can't, send me some hate mail. And, I mean, we could... Because we broadcast. If it does 720p at 60, that's what we broadcast at. And even though I'm... Let's be honest, even the 1700, which is the low end of the Ryzen 7...
Mm-hmm.
At 16 threads, it's going to be like
yeah,
knocking the dandruff off at the streaming, but we could add it in the tool chain. I could probably figure out some fuckery for it. I could make it do something that it's not supposed to. Yeah, that's true. You will definitely get. Everyone will be getting a how you do the green screen bullshit OBS guide on Linux. That's coming out. I might get it done this week, but yeah, you would definitely be getting a quick and dirty how-to on either installing a Blackmagic card or taking it outside, covering it in petrol, and lighting the bitch on fire and dancing around it. It depends on how difficult it is to get set up, Pedro. I mean. There'll be something to play with.
Yeah. And, it's 9:30. I need to go eat something. Because it's been a while.
Well, that's good. We're just right at 1 hour and 30 minutes, so I don't feel like we've loved you and left anyone. You know, I think we hung around. Did a nice little pre-show, little after show.
Indeed. And again, if you were watching the show live and you feel like we got something wrong or you'd like to
we got all kinds of things wrong. That's why, listen, man, this is Weekly Daily Wednesdays is the favorite Linux technology show with none of that pesky accuracy.
Uh-huh.
We just talk about Linux. We love Linux. It's about stuff we find interesting. Hopefully you find interesting. I don't walk it as like, I am Linux expert man sent from the Linux store. And like, this is cool. And we want what Pedro was saying, man. Yeah, scream back in our direction. But like, I mean, try to stop yourself if your first thought is, well, actually, tap the brakes. Just tap the brakes on that one.
Yeah, pedantic. That's not going to end well for you. Just ask Strider.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. Anyway, thanks everybody for showing up. Thanks to all the beautiful party patrons and everybody who's supported the show in all the brilliant ways and keeping us loud, live, independent, and commercial free. It's kind of like pirate radio. Kinda, but not really. But we say that because it makes us feel cool. All right.
And it has the word pirate in the name.
Yar, bitches. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Cheers.